Let's check on the state of the umbrella. This morning, the PDP held its 99th NEC meeting yesterday, and well, the outcome is what we'll be testing on the program this morning. We're joined, as you saw there, Oladimeji Fabi is Director of Support Groups for PDP Presidential Campaign Council in the 2023 election. Joins us live from our Abuja studio, and Devo Kore, a political development expert, joins us virtually from Lagos. Gentlemen, you're welcome to the program. And naturally, I'll begin with Mr. Fabi. Let me just ask right away, with the NEC meeting holding, how much of the issues have been resolved? Or simply put, now that the NEC has held, have you been able to remove every hand holding the PDP by its neck? Pun intended, yeah.
Let me start by saying that the NEC that was held yesterday really fell short of so many things, the expectations of the party members and even Nigerians, because a lot of people have thought that meeting would have afforded the party an opportunity to trash out so many serious issues that have been dividing the party in the last 1 or 2 years. But unfortunately, as far as that was never to be. And for me, it was as good as the NEC never held, because there are salient issues, there are germane issues that should have been addressed by these leaders, by the members of the NEC. But unfortunately, they ran away from it. They dwelled on there. Well, all those concerns raised about the problem of the APC's activities and all that, they are valid, but they didn't really address the internal issues that are affecting the party. And that's why I found out what they did yesterday. Even the issue of national security that is raging now, I know thanks to Minister Wike that is creating another, issue on that side. They never addressed it. They postponed the evil. They said, what stops them from addressing it yesterday? Because this is the latest issue that is holding the party down, that has stopped the party from moving forward. So what was the essence of the NEC? So these guys are just a bunch of jokes, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm not inspired, I'm not even encouraged. So how do we instill confidence in members of the party? When you do this kind of thing, you gathered yesterday to address most of these issues, and you said you now postpone it to 30th of June. What stops you from addressing it now? It means that these guys are not serious and they are not honest with the party. There is a script that is being played here, and all of us are waiting to see where this script will lead the party. Nothing has changed. And we are going to have more issues with this party. I'm not a prophet of doom. It is clear now that PDP is not ready to lead the rescue mission for this country. It is clear that they are not even ready to challenge the dangerous plan of President Tinubu to turn Nigeria into one-party state. It is clear that they are not ready to solve any problem. And I ask, why are all this? Why are they afraid to take decisions that will advance the interest of the party, that will also advance the interest of this country? PDP has disappointed so many of us. And it's painful that we have a party. I was in this party from the beginning. I know how this thing was. PDP runs this. PDP was a great party. But the greatness of that party has long gone. So I listened to your press release, this SN I just left. Why would you allow one man to be holding the party down? All this, and you cannot discipline him. This is the fundamental question that Damagun-led NWC and even the NEC dimensions they should have answered. Why would you do that? Why is it so difficult to discipline any members, people that glaringly worked against the party, and they are still doing it? Why is it so difficult for you to do? So we all know why. Some of us know why they are doing that. And the next thing is, Atiku is the problem. How is Atiku the problem now? So is Atiku that is causing all of this? Atiku is Aya that caused Ayahu and Ude Okoye's situation? Is it Atiku that said you should organize Congress that are having a problem in the state? Is this Atiku that has taken the party to court? So all of these things, they should actually say the truth and stop misleading the public. My take is this: if PDP is truly ready to lead the rescue of this, of the rescue of this country, they must immediately first address those contradictions internally and disciplinary issues that have rebuilt the party. If the PDP is truly ready to lead, to stop Tinubu from turning Nigeria to one party state, they must immediately engage in broad-based strategic coalition with even civil society, with pro-democracy forces and other parties, and get this thing done in the interest of this country. This is what I have not seen PDP. That's why I said they are not ready. They are playing a script. How can your ambition destroy an institution?
Mr. Fabi, so are you saying that Mr. Anyanwu should remain as a secretary or Mr. Ode Okoye? Which is it for you?
I am not saying any of them. The party said the deputy national secretary should continue. What is the problem in that? What really is the interest? Right. If the party has decided that, okay, we have already agreed that the deputy national secretary should continue for peace to be in the party, let it be. Then do all other things. I mean, they are living real issues. They are following. They are chasing shadows.
So for you, they're meant to move away from that rather than going back to try to resolve it. But let me go to Mr. Okoye and get his thoughts on this. Well, he has said that yesterday's NEC meeting fell short of expectations. No one has been punished, reprimanded. He talked about broad-based coalition. But for some, they'll say this was a success in itself, the fact that they were able to pull together in spite of a division. At least this is better than nothing.
Well, thank you for having me, Kadi. If you've been watching politics in Nigeria, you realize that what they do is right in front of your face. And it's not easy. I mean, it's so easy to understand when a political party is headed for ruin. In this issue, PDP has elementary problems. And when I say elementary problems, their issues are right in front of them. Their major challenge is their inability as a political organization, one of the oldest in the continent, to follow their own rules. Let me repeat myself. The problem of the PDP is a problem that they have amongst each other to follow their own laid down constitution, okay? Now, you can take the blame game from those who say it's Atiku that is the root of the problem. Some say it is Wike that is the root of the problem. Some say, oh, it is the past leaders that sets this precedence in place. But think about it, just like my gentleman there had mentioned, a party that has been challenged by such divisions, you would have felt that the first urgent matter on their table was to either address the indiscipline of anti-party activity, or, if you like, go to the original sin, which was basically PDP as a convention and as a constitution has zoning and power sharing between the North and South. That was the basis of when, I think, was it the G20 set up the PDP. And it was always on that basis. It was never a problem. Now, at 2023 elections, the sentiment was, with Buhari having done 8 years, that power would move to the South. Now, at this same situation, I think it was in 2022, when they had this problem, they had a NEC meeting, which ideally, by convention, they should have simply said, oh, let's look at how we can bring up candidates from the South. An idea came up and said, no, let's compete. That is the same issue that began their downfall. They couldn't follow their own rules. Statements like, are you afraid of competition? If we compete, we will now know who is the best. Yes, that is a democratic option. I agree. But is that the rule? Is that what the PDP from its origin has agreed to do? If they're changing their convention or their constitution, then let it be known, like APC that doesn't have that convention, that power can shift anywhere, fine. But if we've always had a convention, you can't change it as you deem fit, or when it works for you and when it doesn't work for you. Now, since then, I mean, we can start reeling out all the issues that they had. Some who say Wike is the root of the problem of the PDP, he said agreement is agreement. They had a governors forum, I think a few weeks ago. They invited him and he asked a particular question. So how are we going about the presidential candidacy come 2027? They said, we still want to have NEC, etc. and co. That was all he needed to know. that PDP is not ready. Now, they've had the meeting yesterday. Kayode, what did the PDP members say? They couldn't even bring up the topic because they know that means you're not straight. Let me say this.
But isn't that an academic exercise, Mr. Okore? He said
That's
he
why
will support.
no.
He has said he will support President Tinubu. We know that he's in the president's cabinet. He has never hidden it. So isn't that an academic exercise asking, what do you plan to do with the presidency? Is he trying to know their own game plan so he'll find a way to use it against them? I think you get what I mean here.
No, I do. But what I'm saying is, you haven't even given him a chance to air. PDP needs to set itself straight. Like I said, they can either agree. They should have been able to say, okay, this time round, the 8 years of power sharing to the South is not over. Therefore, we're going to shop for a candidate from the South. That would have been a clear indicator that, okay, we made an error in the past. We're ready to correct that now. That would have been a clear error. Immediately that is said, the equation shifts. It's no longer about Wike meddling in the matters. It's now Wike, now that we've chosen to do the right thing, if any action you take works against this party, you're being expelled. It's as simple as that. But if you're still dilly-dallying, you still want the option of, okay, let's keep it open to the public, then at the end of the day, it simply means that you don't want to change your ways. Secondly, the National Secretary issue. What is the history of the National Secretary issue? The only reason why Anyanwu is there and why the Supreme Court supported his candidature is simple. Ideally, if you were to run for a gubernatorial or any other position, you're meant to resign. Unfortunately, I think Ayu was the chairman then. He did not enforce a resignation on behalf of Anyanwu, which is why legally, technically, he is still the National Secretary. Whereas the majority of the party has voted for Udo Okoye. These are simple technicalities, Kayode. If a political party that claims that it wants to rescue, or bring about reforms in Nigeria cannot deliver the elementary, I repeat myself, a political party of experienced politicians cannot deliver the elementary basics to a school. We just celebrated Children's Day, Kayode. Come on. My daughter can even figure this out. That party is not ready. You know, I don't blame the APC. The APC has not bound themselves by some of these conventions. Some people claim, oh, the PDP follows rules, they follow constitution. It's okay. As they say in literature, there's honor amongst thieves. If the APC agrees that it's open to all, and anybody who has the power, who has the capacity to win, I've always told people, politics is not about logic. 1 + 1 is not 2 in politics. Politics is about numbers and consensus. 1 + 1 in politics is 11. The PDP wants to continue, let's use the word, deceiving its own self, okay? Then there's nothing we can do as a people. My own grouse, my own challenge, my own grievance is that Nigeria is being robbed of what we call credible opposition. Okay. Nigeria is being robbed of an alternative position, stance, to be able to check a ruling administration at the federal level and as well as the state level. This is my issue. This is not democracy we're seeing. This is literally one party having a field day simply because there's no credible opposition out there.
Okay, great point you made. Let's take it to Mr. Fabi. Mr. Fabi, so in simple terms, Mr. Okore is saying this is a convolution of self-deception in the PDP. Everybody is trying to outsmart the other person, from Nyesom Wike to Atiku Abubakar to all the players. So for the records, your party constitution article 47(5) did not require the national secretary to resign. The operative word there was may. So I don't know how your party will interpret the word may or may not, whether may means compulsory, but may in literal terms means it's an option. And he's made a great point that the national chairman of the party has then did not insist that Anyanwu resigns, just like it's conventional in our ground norm, the constitution that requires cabinet members to resign 30 days or so before they run for primaries. So I will posit the problem again as it is. The idea that now that the sentiment looks like the presidency should stay in the South and Atiku Abubakar looks like he wants to run, that's a problem. The idea that Nyesom Wike, who works with the president, works for the president, and is ready to work hard to ensure the president is returned, is also calling terms for the PDP as a reconciliation. It's also a funny contradiction. So the idea that some people are saying that Bala Mohammed has a presidential ambition, so it's not straightforward, and now Jay Makinde has been brought into the mix. I want you to look at all of these accusations and try to profile a solution.
Well, thank you very much. Let me address this, your poster, this way. Number one, there is a grand design, there is a grand plan to destroy PDP. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I've been a PDP member since 1999. I served there. I've worked in committees of the party. I've done assignment for the party. I understand this. There is a grand design. So whatever you want to say now, or whatever you want to do now, will not stop those who have decided to destroy the party for APC to stop. They will not stop. There's a grand design, and we know those who are behind all of this. I don't need to mention names any further. Having said that, let me tell you, I always disagree with anybody who says zoning is the problem of the PDP. Zoning has never been the problem. The problem has been those individuals who are having this nauseating sense of entitlement that they have the levers of control of PDP, or if they don't have it, else everybody to go to war. These are the problems of the party. Let us address this thing as it is. I ask these questions, and they should please answer me. Since 1999, the PDP has gone into 9 national elections. And among all these national 9 elections, when was the time? They should tell me 1 or 2 times that PDP has enforced zoning. Zoning was put in that constitution, or rotation as it may be, just to, is a kind of guide. It was not sacrosanct. So zoning can never be. In 1999, we saw candidate from North-South contested. In 2003, the same thing. In 2007, Peter Obi would have become the president if he had not been stopped by the president then brought about Yaradua. In 2011, Atiku and Jonathan contested, and Jonathan won, in spite of the fact that there was an agreement that this should not be. The only time that it was all northern affairs was 2019, and they said because of what is coming, and that's how you saw all of them. And Atiku won. In 2019, people didn't ever talk about zoning. Why this hypocrisy? Because people felt they're entitled. And that means that, again, let me tell you this: the Atiku that I know, that I see, has moved on, has moved away from this party thing. Atiku is focusing on Nigeria, how to redeem and rescue Nigeria, and that is what the man is doing. So if you don't like it, the simple truth is this: anybody's ambition should not be any problem to anybody. It is legitimate. Whether Bala Mohammed wants to run is legitimate. Whether Jay Makinde wants to run is his legitimate right under the constitution. If Atiku wants to run, if Wike wants to run, is their legitimate right.
Mr. Fabi, my apologies. Mr. Fabi, just a moment, just to add to what you said. This is the problem that politicians have, and I'm going to tell you what that problem is. The assumption that is all about how the political party thinks. Are you thinking about what Section 14 of the Constitution says about a sense of belonging? Those are the terms, those are the words in our agronym: belonging and inclusion. So are you dismissing the fact that there is no valid argument around when the North rules, the South rules, even if it's not in our Constitution in that sense? Is that what you're saying? I want you to be bold about it.
What I'm telling you is very clear. Let me tell you something. In situations like this, the onus of zoning lies on the ruling government, not on the opposition that is still finding its feet. Check PDP. When PDP was in power, did you see AD or ACN talking about zoning? Because they're in opposition. An opposition must do whatever that will make them win election. The onus is on the APC. APC is in government, and PDP cannot act on the dictate of the APC. Is wrong. PDP has his rules. He has his own thing. So we should run away from this sentiment. And let us face it. The owners of that, of zoning, APC cannot come today and now say they are returning power back to the South. People will go against them. People, naturally, they must go to the North. And it's not the responsibility of the PDP to do that. We cannot. PDP cannot act on the dictates or the action or activities of APC. It's never done. Where do you see that done? So that is my point. So they shouldn't put this on his zoning, is this, it's all sentiment. People must do whatever that. Why did they leave you open in 2023? Because Governor Wike believed you could win the primary election. And unfortunately, he lost it. So these are the issues. So those who are bent on destroying this party are on it, and they would stop at nothing to do it. If a minister could come out and say, I'm working for the president, governor of Akwa Ibom said he's working for the president, what does this mean anything to anybody?
All right, Mr. Fabi,
let's be realistic in our assessment.
Let's take it to Mr. Corey. Mr. Corey, I would like you to react to what Mr. Fabi has said. Clearly, this is a debate that is going to continue for a very long time. But he's seen his position and his annotations as to how politicians think. I always tell people there's a way politicians think, there's a way the regular citizens think. But again, PDP has done something yesterday, and it's important we posit this. Nobody should be able to hold any party to ransom. We don't expect Bola Tinubu or Muhammadu Buhari, former president, to be able to hold a party to ransom. So it is also not good for anybody, whether it's Wike or Atiku, to hold a party to ransom. That's why the Labour Party perhaps is also struggling. You can't build an institution around the person. So putting that at the back of your mind, he is saying that don't blame people that have ambition as a problem. So where should we place the blame here?
You want me to take a mirror and turn it around so that you can see yourselves, right? See, to any beautiful woman, whoever marries her is not the only person that was speaking to her. Everybody will make their attempt, and at the end of the day, it's the person who she is interested in that she will go with. Likewise, political parties. I've told you, politics is not logic. It's not 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 is 11. The APC, for all I care, even the NNPP and any other political party that feels it has political strategy, can do whatever it takes to not break up the PDP, to attract members out of the PDP who have been experienced, right? That's politics for you, because they're building consensus. As you've heard Ganduje say, our doors are open to everybody. And the president said, sweep them clean. Use that broom and bring in as many as possible. If that is their capacity and their strategy, that's all well and good for them. Now, the question here for the PDP is, I've said it before, it's elementary. It's in their convention and their constitution to share power. If they agree and they believe that, oh, in 2025, the PDP should evolve from a party that is, that is pivoted on power sharing on a zonal basis, and say, oh, let us leave it to merits. Let us leave it to who is able to contribute the most to PDP. It's a political party. By the Supreme Court ruling, they're entitled to design their own rules. If that is how they want it, then that next meeting should have been about, can we amend zoning into merit-based election? Can you remember in, I think it was in Lagos, when there was a political wrangling over the position of Ambode? The APC, which already had enshrined indirect voting with delegates, just because they wanted to create a scenario and achieve an objective, they amended their party policy to direct voting. That's what gave rise to what you saw, and Ambode was removed. Simple. It's not that difficult. A political party can decide how, when, and where it wants to go. That's what I expect the PDP to do. There's no problem now. We're not holding the PDP to ransom. If they don't believe in zoning anymore, I don't believe in it, because that's not a best position to actually vote who you want to lead you. Voting, I mean, democratic excellence should come from merits, should come from the fact that whoever is the candidate has proven himself across time, that we can all see that is verifiable, that this person can lead us forward, not by your ethnicity. We all know how, even though federal character was a solution back in the day to create some balance because of the politics of this country, we always know that it has never produced the best candidates. So for the PDP, they simply need to agree and amend their own rules. If they're able to amend their own rules, this burden that has been on them, that has been the root of their division, a person like Wike will have nothing to say. At that point, what claim will he have to, we're not following our own rules anymore? All right. Amend your rules or follow the ones that you have.
Amend your rules or follow the ones that you have. It looks like a tough one, but Mr. Fabi, final words from you. You said that Mr. Atiku Abubakar is now focusing on, nation building. I think that's how you put it. Correct me if I'm wrong. So would you support him then, saying, at this point, having gotten to this level, now is the time for me to support somebody a Peter Obi, or someone in that sense, as part of his own sacrifice to the nation? Because for a lot of people, they're saying, do you really want to run for president again?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, I've not heard Mr. Atiku saying he's going to run. I've never, if you heard him anywhere, just tell me. But he has connection, he has network across the country. He has huge numbers of people who believe in what he represents and his vision for this country. Those people are the ones saying, please come and run across the country. Come and run. He has never said, I am going to run. Atiku is presently preoccupied with how do we reclaim this country. He believes the country is not doing well. How do we reclaim it? How do we make it better? And that's exactly what he's doing. And you see, he's not even involving himself in all the shenanigans of the PDP anymore. Right? But he's still a member of the party. He has never said he's not a member of the party. So having said that, let me tell you something. There's no, in history, we have found that there is no way a single party can defeat an incumbent. Not even an incumbent that is well entrenched. The way they are doing that, you know, they are holding everybody through intimidation and all that so that they can be with them. It's not. And that's why Atiku is calling, because of his vision. He said, guys, let us come together as opposition parties. Whether it's Peter Obi or El-Rufai, anybody, we're all in opposition now. And we need to come back together because we have a duty when things are not going right, to rescue this country. Yeah. And that's what the man is saying. So if Atiku decide today that he's going to, you know, listen to the call and voice of majority of his people who believe in him, that is going to, I will support him because I believe in what he represents. I know, number one, he's fit, he's healthy, age has nothing to do with it. President, what's he called in America? Biden left because of health issues. Atiku does not have any health issues. He's still sound, he's of sound mind, he's still sharp. So if he says he wants to run, why should I say, I mean, he shouldn't run. Why should anybody say Atiku should not run and step down for anybody? Is it about age? It's not about age. If you say somebody should come and run, I'll ask you this question. What does that person have that Atiku does not have in terms of leadership, in terms of capacity, in terms of experience? Which is really matter. In the ladder of leadership, I don't see age there. Age is not there. So if the man says, I'm fit, I want to run, yes, I will support him. I will support Atiku with my full chest. I've always supported him because I believe in what he represents. And so many other people like that also believe in what he represents. So don't tell anybody to step down for anybody. Atiku has not told anybody to step down for him. If you want to defeat Atiku, meet him on the field. And that is the fear of Wike and the rest. They tried him in 2019, defeated them. They tried him in 2023, defeated them. They are afraid that if he goes to the primaries now, this is the bane of the problem. And Atiku has never said he's going to run anyway. So as far as I'm concerned, please, Nigerians should be objective enough. This is not about emotion, this is not about sentiment, but it's about how to rescue this country and who is best fit to run it.
Mr. Fabi, we have to thank you so much. Mr. Atiku Abubakar, 78 years old, the president, Tinubu, 73, Mr. Peter Obi, 63. Clearly some age difference there, but you say age is just a number, it's not an issue. Well, Nigerians will decide eventually after the parties get their acts together. We're speaking with Mr. Oladimiji Fabi, who is the Director of Support Groups of the PDP Presidential Campaign Council for 2023. Looks like he'll be playing a major role in 2027 as well, but time will tell. As well as a political development expert, Mr. Devo Kore. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Well, that's a look at the state of the umbrella. But we'll take a quick break now. When we return, let's talk about the loans. What are these loans for? Is this the right time? What more must we do as a National Assembly and as a people to ensure transparency and accountability? That's next on the program. Stay with us.